Hey guys, welcome again, this time with something different. This is totally experimental, so I will need you to let me know if this is something that you are enjoying watching. I was thinking about, doing something more for my channel, and I thought about doing some reviews, but focused on the design perspective and how the different designs combat like the normal issue with the game, what do they bring more to the table, where they fail, and stuff like that. So this is a review, but this is not a review where I will tell you anything about how the game is played. I assume you know how the game is played. If you don't watch some other guys, they are better explaining rules. I will never do as good job as them. So this is the series called Meat. Oh, this should be Meat with an A. So let's assume that this is Meat with an A and Elegance. So the two things that I really value in games, that there are there is some decisions, but also everything goes smoothly. And it's easy to learn and hard to master. That's the game that I really enjoy. And we'll be looking at one of the games that I do really enjoy. Spoiler: Blood Rage. But let's dive deeper into Blood Rage. Blood Rage here, as you can see, this is just a short explanation. 2 to 4 players, drafting, dudes on the map. That's the main thing that's going in this game, and it's about 30 minutes per player from my personal experience. Okay, and let's just dive straight into dudes on the maps. I've played a lot of dudes on the map games, and this is the genre that really I'm driven to the genre, but I never really found anything that was really good. There were always issues, and my main issue is with the cowboy problem. If you do not know, I have a really short explanation here. This is taken from the TED Ed video. I will link the video down in the description. You can watch the video if you really want to understand the problem. I will just give you a short version. So there are 3 wizards. You are the blue one. The next one is here, and the next one is here. The goal is to go basically eliminate all the other wizards. So basically in Dudes on the Map games. You go first. Red has 70% of eliminating and goes second. Yellow has 90 and goes third. And you have a question: which one should you choose? You have a 60% one, 80% one, and 100% one. So I give you a second to pause the video, analyze it, or watch the whole video by TED if you really want to dive deep into it. But I'll just give you a solution. So the natural instinct is to go for 100, but that's actually very bad. Go for 80, that's better, but still bad. The best solution is actually to go 60%. But what's more, you should actually miss with the wand. The correct strategy is to not play at all. That's because, and you really need a 60% one, because you miss on purpose, and then this guy knows that the yellow lady is gonna eliminate him because he's the biggest threat. That's the logic thing to do. So the red one has to target the yellow one. If he succeeds, then you have 60% of winning. If he fails, then she still beats him, and you have 60% of beating her. So actually this strategy works. I wrote it here in the corner 64.6% of the time. And what we take from here is when there is when there are direct fights in the game, you basically want to lay low. You don't want to be a threat, and you actually not want to be a threat that you sometimes not even attack somebody to let them attack somebody else. So basically your strategy is doing nothing. But guess what? Doing nothing is not fun in the game. So we do not play games to not do something. And let's maybe go here. Cowboy problems then turn into purple turtle problem, what I call. Cowboy problem, I think somebody uses the term. Purple Turtle is just my and my group name for it. It comes from this game. I don't know how it's called in English, but it's like Speeding Turtles in Polish. This is by Rainer Knizia. In this game, you have a secret identity, and you just want to sprint to the end. So you want to hide your identity, and manipulate it, and that's great. It works in this game. But in most of the Dudes on the Map games, you do not hide your identity. You know who you are. You know how you are doing. It's not like possible to correctly identify what percentage you have to win, but you know if someone is doing better usually. That's like with height. You cannot tell how high somebody is, like with centimeters, but if he's higher or taller or shorter than you. So that's the same with the game, with these games. So you basically try to position yourself by being the worst, because that's what gives you the most advantage. And I hate that. Like, if you are like me and you hate that, like, there is the table talk becomes like a skill, but table talk is not a skill, moaning or like bitching how bad you are doing shouldn't be a skill, in games. I know some people enjoy that, and that's fine. If you enjoy that, maybe my points are not for you. But if you're like me and you kind of want to focus on strategy, tactics, and clever interactions, like within the game system, not over the table, where if you're like me and you play with like the same group for over a decade, I would say, then those over the table things kind of get played out a little. Like we know who is winning most of the time. We know when somebody is like moaning and stuff like that. So we do not fall for that so much. And that's like this evolves from this. Another problem with Dudes on the Map games, like with territory control, where this is a big factor, is that you generally want to go last. And here I placed a picture of Kemet, just because Kemet is like the worst offender of this. If you ever tried to maximize like your chances of winning in Kemet over a couple of games, you realize that you want like a super turn. You basically want to be last, so have the lowest points to go last in a turn where you can basically dominate everyone with how much you have like in your engine. And you just try doing that. Of course, like if you like everybody is doing that, maybe someone can go enough ahead that they cannot stop him, but not really, just because of some other problems, that I mentioned before. So you generally want to do like a super turn and kill everybody basically. So let's see how Blood Rage addresses these problems. First, like you can do stuff from turn 1, and the stuff has a long-term effect. That's combating the Kemet problem, let's say. Also, there are ways to get points even when you are getting beaten up. Loki and Valhalla cards and stuff like that. So it's not possible to gang up on a player and like eliminate him, because that might actually be his strategy. That's combating the turtle problem and the cowboy problem. There is a pressure to develop and keep up. That's the first and third point here like go together. You have to like get your kingdom to the certain points. Like there are tracks that require you to get somewhere if you really want to stay competitive, and to do that you have to gain points. So you have to do something to keep up with the game. That's really combating the purple turtle problem. That's actually hard to say. There is a sense of progress that you have to follow. because if not, then you're just gonna left behind. And in this game, I really feel like I'm fighting for something. Like I'm trying to get this territory, and I'm not like destroying somebody there. Like there are so much that you gain and cannot be taken away from you, mainly the points and like your progress on the tracks, that you are not really that behind if you do something. Of course, there are some times where you get beaten up, but they're more rare, and this is not like fighting like I'm going to destroy him because he's going too much ahead. It's more like my engine requires me to do this. This is more of a Euro approach in this style of games, and this is something that I personally really like, but I can understand that it's not for everybody. Then the second main mechanic is drafting in this game, or maybe even the first main mechanic. It depends on how you look at this. I think this is the main supporting mechanic here, but I can see your point if you disagree with it. So there are some issues with drafting. This channel started mainly as 7 Wonders, analysis, and I've played so many drafting games, and this is my favorite mechanic, and I think I really know it. So here I have a picture of Sushi Go Party, which is a good game in its own right, but it has all the problems that I'm going to list here. Last card is often useless. When you draft and there is, last card coming, you have no choice, and you basically, just get it. That's the thing with Sushi Go Party, Sushi Go, and stuff like that. Also, in this game, if you do not know it, there are cards that give you like 3 points, but there are cards just give you 1 point. So 3 is much better than 1, obviously. And there is nothing, differentiating these cards. You just, they are in the deck. And also, there is like a big deck, unknown pool, kinda unknown, that you do not know what the total pool at the table, like in 7 Wonders, for example. And that's, that makes it less strategic and less tactical. So, how Blood Rage tries to combat these problems? You only draft 5 out of 7, which is great. In 7 Wonders, for example, you draft 6 out of 7. But in 7 Wonders, you also have the Wonders to hide your bad cards, or hate draft. This is not the case here in Blood Rage, but that's probably okay, because then it would be too dominating of the mechanic. There is a couple of cards that you know for all the pool. I think 1 or 2, I don't remember from the top of my head. And that's also very, very fine. There is some surprises, but there is not a lot of surprises for you. There are cards that synergize well together, but individually. That's just good draft design when you have combos that go together, but separately they are weaker. So you are incentivized to draft them when you know that you can get them, but not the other way behind, not the other way around. For example, in Sushi Go, there are combos, but they're actually just great always, and that's a huge design problem. But as I said, this game is fine for what it's trying to do. And also there are cards that change value of the other cards, and what I mean by that, there are some cards that lets you play quests for fights and stuff like that. So by drafting something early, you kind of change around what it's worth for you, and everybody knows it. So or don't, because if you drafted it on the same turn, and that's just great. Okay, so let's go into the downsides of the design. One problem that I have here is that in just because there is a pressure to keep up, it creates a snowball problem, and that's especially well seen in two-player games. You do not there is no catch-up mechanism. There is no incentive to stay low in two-player, especially. You cannot gang up on just the second player because there is no party to gang up. So if you get ahead, you kind of get more and more and more ahead. Just the typical snowball problem. But from what I've played, that's mostly two-player With 3 and 4 players, this is not happening too much, or at all. But that's something that I've seen, but this is the consequence, and this is maybe why the games create Purple Turtle Problems, to avoid Snowball, because Snowball is really not fun. So the other thing that I'll try to do in these videos, if they'll catch on, is to tell you where, because like what I miss in the reviews, like people usually just tell me how to play and how they feel about the game, but they do not tell me like what's really fun about the game. Like they rarely talk about it. So where is the fun in this game? Drafting is great because you build combos, and the combos feel powerful. There is excitement in fighting because sometimes you fight with a lot of players and there are powerful abilities and you kind of do not know what will happen, which may be a downside for you. But there is a lot of excitement. Yeah, the tension is there. Predicting what your opponents are doing and try to combat them. This can also be a fun thing in the draft. You have some power over it, and you kind of can steer them in some way. This can be fun if you like things like this. There are some gotcha cards that's with the fights point that can either be super fun or super not fun. There are some cards that can be huge swings. You kind of know after a couple games that they are in the draft, and you can prepare a little for them. But if you do not enjoy something like this, maybe this game is not for you. I want to say that there's also like huge miniatures, and the games from the miniature standpoint is really nice. Not so much from the graphic design maybe, but which is like not terrible, but not comparable to the miniatures. But if you enjoy something like that, this is a game that will bring that feeling of great components. And there is fun in winning this game because you actually feel like you basically won fair and square, compared to some other games where you might feel that you were given the win by them fighting along themselves. Like winning here, I think, is legit. Basically, what I'm trying to say. So in conclusion, this game gets 5 stars from me. For me, it's the best dudes on the map game. Just don't play it 2-player. If somebody says that this is a good 2-player game, don't listen to them. And try to get into this game. If you have like things that low-key strategy is overpowered or something, try to remember that drafting is about metagame, and it's a self-balancing mechanic. So you are trying to draft so that you have the good stuff and the other people don't. And basically, that's it. Let me know, please, what you think about this video. Should I make more? Would you like some maybe more negative or maybe more positive reviews? Let me know. Until next time, see you later. Bye.